So you're thinking of moving to Nisswa, Minnesota, and you want to know the yin and the yang, the pros and the cons of living in this charming lakeside town. Well, that's exactly what we're going to cover today because we get questions all the time about Nisswa. People often compare it to places like Pequot Lakes, Breezy Point, Cross Lake, other great towns in the lakes area, and wondering if it is the right fit for their lifestyle or not. So go ahead and dive into Google Earth and do a map tour, show you around a little bit, highlight some of the best features, and talk about what makes this town one of the most sought after places in the Brainerd Lakes area. We'll go ahead and sprinkle in a few of the downsides, really give you a full picture. We're going to get after it right now. All right, if this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything about living in the Brainerd Lakes area, including the towns like Nisswa, go ahead and subscribe below, tap that bell for notifications. That way you're going to be the first to know about the current market and everything that's happening in the area. My name is Noah Gedker. We get calls, texts, and emails every day from people just like you looking to make their move to the lakes area, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 9 months, reach out. We'd love to help you with a smooth move to Nisswa and the Brainerd Lakes area. So Nisswa is really your quintessential small town, lakeside town, really something you'd think of in like a Hallmark film. And if you've spent any time in Minnesota, you know it is one of the most popular vacation and second home destinations in the entire state. I mean, there are charming boutiques, restaurants, different shops, fantastic lakes, and endless outdoor activities, so much for you to do. It's no wonder that so many people are moving here to Nisswa, and there's such high demand. So let's go ahead and pull up Google Earth here and take a closer look. All right, first things first, I want to show you where Nisswa is located, right? Obviously. So we're northwest of the Twin Cities, Minneapolis-St. Paul area. That's roughly 2.5 hours, give or take, to Minneapolis, and still about the same 2.5 hours or so to the Minneapolis airport here in the south part of the metro. 2 to 2.5 hours to Duluth, just depending on a few variables. But and then over to Fargo, pretty much the same thing, looking at 2 to 2.5 hours that direction as well. But the Brainerd Lakes area in general is about, you can kind of figure about 2 hours from the Twin Cities. So it's a pretty easy drive for a weekend. Many of the people that come to the Brainerd Lakes area to vacation and have a second home and come up for weekends. So we're going to actually zoom in here to downtown Nisswa. If you have ever been here on a summer weekend, which obviously is the busy time of year, you know that this place is just absolutely buzzing with energy. From the Nisswa turtle races, which that's a pretty big deal. It's not exactly NASCAR level of excitement, but it can get pretty wild. So I think they've been doing the turtle races for somewhere around 50 years. It seems kind of weird, but it's actually somewhat of a blast. So, all right, so here we are downtown Nisswa. So we've got to the west is Nisswa Lake, and which we have Nisswa Lake Park. Here we are, as you can see, even in this picture here, it looks like it's pretty busy, a lot happening. So these small town, quaint storefronts, right? And over here, this is the Paul Bunyan Trail. So obviously that's going to be a huge hit. Goes right through downtown. That Paul Bunyan Trail, that's the longest paved trail in the U.S., like 120 plus miles, stretching from Brainerd to Bemidji. It's great for running, walking, bicycling, snowmobiling. The turtle races happen right over here in the parking lot over by the A&W drive-up restaurant here. Get your root beer floats. It's always a good time in your chilled glass mug. Turtle races, and then they start out in the middle of the circle. Basically just use water to keep moving forward to the outer part of the circle. And first wins, and I believe on Wednesdays every week. So if you're in Nisswa, you got to do it. It's a tradition. Okay. So then the Chocolate Ox is probably the best ice cream shop / candy shop in the entire state. Then you see these shops downtown, boutique type shops, they're from Minnesota themed apparel to home decor, outdoor gear, really something for everyone. Here's the thing, as you can imagine, it probably gets, there's not a lot of room here. It gets pretty busy in the summertime, especially whenever they have many of the really great events that they have here in Nisswa are happening. It can get pretty packed. So if you're someone who loves the energy of a lively town, you'll love it here. But if you're, on the other hand, looking for a quiet place to live year round, you might prefer just living outside of town a little bit. That's certainly something you can do here too. Let's talk about where people actually live in Nisswa. Right, it's a small town, but there's actually quite a bit of space, right? Nisswa is known for gorgeous lakefront homes, cozy cabins, some really nice high-end properties, some luxury homes with a strong mix of full-time residents and seasonal homeowners, really. Nisswa will be, on average, one of the higher priced neighborhoods within the Brainerd Lakes area. So just know that, but you are able to find homes in all different price categories. It's just, if your budget is a little bit on the lower end, it's going to be a little bit more difficult than, say, somewhere like Brainerd or Crosby or Pequot Lakes, let's just say. So there's the lakefront properties, for their private lakefront. So the average lakefront home is going to be about $1 million. That's going to include homes that are, so we've got Round Lake here, North Long Lake here, Lake Hubert. And so we've got various lakes here that are smaller. These are part of the Gull chain here. Those are going to be more affordable than homes directly on Gull Lake, but on average, they're going to be about $1 million plus, with Gull Lake being the highest, most highly sought after lake homes. Okay, Gull Lake homes will be 2, 3, 4 million or more. In fact, here's a home here that's it's actually being built right now. That'll be about 4 million right here. If that makes sense, right there, a nice little spot, kind of sticking out a little bit into Gull Lake, looking westward. So you're going to get phenomenal sunset views. So its custom home is going to be a phenomenal build once it's all done. So we'll have to do a home tour video of that one once it's nearing completion. Okay. Then probably North Long Lake is going to be kind of the most affordable. While technically not in Nisswa, you're going to actually have a Brainerd address. Depending on where you're at, if you're on this north side, you're going to be much closer to Nisswa actually than Brainerd. So golf course homes are going to be, of course, close to Grandview Lodge. So most of these homes are going to be really kind of right in here. So these ones are going to be over $1 million for the most part on average, and they can actually be enrolled in the Grandview Lodge rental program. Can help pay for itself a little bit, right? But these are going to be all custom built homes, very large homes, plenty of space to spread out. So that's on the kind of the north side of the Pines Golf Course. And then there's some homes in here too, and some other sporadic ones in here as well. So then let's go over to affordable, just kind of single family homes. Now you're going to have those single family homes spread out all throughout Nisswa. A lot of them are going to have plenty of room, like an acre or potentially more of space to kind of spread out. They're not going to be on top of each other. Nisswa is not a densely populated town, but if you go downtown and head east, there's quite a few homes kind of near Clark Lake. So there's a lot of building going on over there. Quite a few homes right here, just southeast, I guess it would be, of downtown. I mean, your bike ride like 2 minutes, 3 minutes from downtown. Some of them are getting to be a few years old now, but building more of them. And these are going to be generally low 400s to mid 500s, just depending on what kind of finishes maybe, or different floor plans that you can choose from. All going to be much more affordable options for Nisswa. Now, can you find homes under 400,000 in Nisswa? Yeah, absolutely you can, but demand is going to be super high. It's going to be very competitive for a home in that under 400,000 in Nisswa. So homes do move fast. One thing you definitely have to keep in mind, you got to be ready to move and move quick. There's also, it's going to be more and more, I'm sure we'll see as time goes on, condos and different types of, you know, townhomes and that kind of stuff that we'll probably see in Nisswa. But for the most part, the majority of the homes are going to be single family homes that are a bit spread out with plenty of space, larger homes. You're going to pay for it. The price will be $500,000 plus. All right. So if you love the outdoors, then Nisswa is an absolute paradise for you. So, you know, I've mentioned the Paul Bunyan Trail. You know, I'm not going to go cover that more. It's just the obvious, nearby many lakes that are available and close by everywhere you turn. There's going to be a lake or lake access. So whether you're a vacationer or a year-round resident, there's plenty of water sports activities for you. If you enjoy golf, you know, there's actually just south of Nisswa is Pirates Cove golf course. So that's a great miniature golf. I'm a little bit more of a miniature golf aficionado more than I am traditional golf. I might not have the patience for traditional golf. I'm not sure. Some of the best golfing in Minnesota is in Nisswa. Just gorgeous resort style golf courses. So there's the Preserve and the Pines golf courses, along with there is a golf simulator at Freddy's Sports Grill at Grandview Lodge, right? Pines golf course right here. I believe there's 27 holes right in here at the Pines, and then 18 for the Preserve golf course. Grandview Lodge is actually the largest resort in Minnesota, and it's award-winning on many levels for golf courses, restaurants, the resort itself. Let's go to downtown Nisswa, because there's a Nisswa Lake, which is part of the chain of lakes on Gull Lake. Right here, Nisswa Lake Park. There's some docks here. You can there's a public access. You can launch your boat here or cruising on the lake, and you can pull in here and walk across. There's a tunnel that goes underneath this highway here to get to downtown and go to plenty of these great restaurants. So first one you get to when you come across is Big Axe Brewing, a really popular place to go to. So let's see here, Stonehouse Coffee and Roastery. They roast their own coffee here, right? This is their original location. They also have one further south when you kind of are first entering into Nisswa, further south there. And then they have one in Baxter as well. And then as you come along Main Street here, there's the Chocolate Ox that I had mentioned, and across the street from there is Rafferty's Pizza. Is phenomenal. So you can't come to the Brainerd Lakes area without having Rafferty's, okay? As you come up here, mention the A&W, which is right here. And then the turtle races are right in here. And then another really great restaurant that I think sometimes may be underrated is Main Street Ale House. They have some really great casual dining options. And then Grandview Lodge has, I forget how many restaurants they have. I don't even know off the top of my head, but they Italian Gardens Crew, which is basically feels like a dining in a wine cellar. Char Craft Steaks, obviously for steak. And then they actually have their own location of Chocolate Ox that's open seasonally. So, and there's a lot of other casual dining options all around Grandview Lodge. So there's so many different dining options. There's a Dairy Queen right downtown. Maybe the biggest, nicest looking Wendy's fast food restaurant that you'll pretty much ever see. Sportland Corners, part of Nisswa. So here's the Wendy's. Very nice. So Sportland Corners, we have Schaefer's Restaurant right across kitty corner here. Subway back over this direction, and then right there's a bank, but also the one of the other Stonehouse Coffee locations. And then heading towards Grandview, heading west, you can see there's also for outdoor activities outdoor water slides, right? Now there's indoor water parks in Baxter, but Nisswa has outdoor water parks. It's certainly no Wisconsin Dells, but it's pretty fun, fairly affordable. I forget what the prices are, but it's very reasonable. And there's a lot of other restaurants. A lot of the kind of the chain restaurants, if you will, are in Baxter, which is going to be 12, 15 minutes south of Nisswa. That's where a lot of your shopping is going to be. Not a lot of big box retailers, in Nisswa, but just head down 12, 15 minutes south of town. Nisswa starts right here, and Baxter starts here. That distance maybe is like 10 minutes. Costco, Walmart, Home Depot is right here. Summertime, this stretch is going to be pretty busy, so just know that. But it's generally going to be Friday afternoons and Sunday late morning. All right, so just going to kind of start wrapping up here with some pros and cons of living in Nisswa. I'll start with the pros. So Gull Lake and the surrounding lakes really make Nisswa a dream spot for anyone who loves the water. There's anybody who loves, shopping and dining. There's some really great boutiques, coffee shops, plenty of restaurants all around, unique restaurant options. There's plenty to do in town, plenty of activities throughout the year that just give you that kind of hallmark community type feel. Obviously, there's no shortage of outdoor activities. As we mentioned, biking, hiking, golfing, snowmobiling, water parks, mini golf. Nisswa has pretty much everything that you could really ask for. Now, making sure we cover the negatives. There are some negatives. Lakefront homes and resort style communities, especially homes on award-winning golf courses, come with a premium price. So that's definitely a downside. There's a limited supply of homes. So, that's partly keeping prices up too, and along with the cost of building, right? Tourism causes some swelling crowds, lots of traffic during peak seasons in the summertime. One that's probably should be touched on is limited year-round jobs. There's a lot of seasonal jobs, right? And even those are not obviously great jobs as far as pay goes, right? So something to think about is don't come here just thinking you're going to find a job, right? Make sure you have something lined up in place. Certainly, if you're into trades, that is something that there's always a need for. If you're, plumber, electrician, anything like that, you can do pretty well, okay? So that's it. It's the yin and the yang, the good and the bad, pros and cons of living in Nisswa, Minnesota. And if you're looking for a high quality lifestyle, incredible outdoor recreation, and vibrant small town feel, then Nisswa could be the perfect place for you. But like anywhere, has trade-offs. If you are at all thinking of making a move to Nisswa or really anywhere in the Brainerd Lakes area, reach out, shoot me a call, send me a text, drop me an email. I'd love to help you make a smooth move to the Brainerd Lakes area, or to help you find your next vacation home and make your move as smooth as possible. And until next time, I'll see you around town.